so just walking out to get bits of shopping and stuff, so yeah, hope everyone's well. So yeah, is everybody okay? Who we got in here? Somebody's watching. So I don't know, I just don't really kind of fit in with all of these like YouTube communities and whatever you, and social media in general, and society in general. Is what I've come to realise. I'm just kind of like my own person, really. I just do my own thing. So I've never really fit in with a lot of people. Just don't really connect with that many people. But sometimes I can connect with people on a more one-to-one level, but yeah. Hope everyone's well today. We've got 2 people watching. Hit that like button, everybody. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. That would be really appreciated. I've just put out a new video. It's kind of like a... Just thought I'd share something like... Let's show the resistance band deadlifts. Hello, Piano LJ. How you doing? Hope you're well today. Thank you for subbing. So what's your name, by the way? Where are you from? I mean, my name's Jamie. I live in the UK. So, yeah, it's quite a nice day today. Not better than it was yesterday, anyway. Hi, Red Corio. How you doing? I hope you're well today. Good afternoon to you all. Hit the like button, everybody. What, 15 people and 0 likes? Come on, people. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. I am live every single day. I also put out shorts, I put out videos, so yeah. So I'd appreciate if anyone can support me with that, because I'm trying to grow this channel and make something of it. So yeah, so having a walk, gonna get some bits of shopping and stuff. So yeah, if anyone's got any questions on health, fitness, anything like that, let me know, because that's something I've been looking into a lot. Been learning a lot about that sort of stuff. So yeah, just can you just take time to just like the live? Yeah, like people won't even just take a second to just like the live or something, whatever, you know. I don't know, really. I was wondering if there's a way to put stuff on the screen to like kind of remind people to do that or some shit. I'm not too sure how you would even do that. What's retouch? Hello, City. Sorry, City Norhidaya. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. I hope your day is going well anyway. Welcome in here. Where is everyone from then? Tell us all about yourselves. Can you just hit the like button real quick? It's a really nice day today, actually. It's not too cold for me, at least, anyway. Hello, Claire. How you doing? I hope you're well. Nice to meet you, Claire. So yeah, just on my way into town at the moment. Just gonna get a few bits from the shop. Yeah, just need some like groceries and stuff, really. But yeah, I've just been like, I did this like leg training earlier. A bunch of different exercises for the legs. Single leg squats. So doing kind of yeah, like sort of what was it, like a hamstring exercise. Or doing that as well. I tried to sort of like mix things up and make sure I'm working different muscles and stuff. So What do you mean, what you speak? I mean, English. English. Yeah. So, so basically, let's talk about money. I don't know, because it's like everyone's also like obsessed about making money or whatever. Or not everybody, but you know what I mean. It's become to a point where like, hello Ray Wynn, sorry, how you doing? I hope you're well today. So everyone thinks all about making money and like how to get richer, but people don't take a step back and think, why do I need all of this? You know, why can't I just be happy, just, you know, living your purpose and just, yeah, you can have nice things and all that, but at a certain point it's like, more money isn't going to necessarily make your life better, you know, because they just keep chasing more and more, but then what does that get you? Just more of what you already have. Another holiday home, another, you know, like another Lamborghini or whatever, Bugatti or whatever, you know. But does that actually give you fulfillment in life? You got to ask yourself that. All the best things in life, you don't necessarily need to have a lot of money for it. Oh, you're from Indonesia, are you? Okay, cool. Hey, if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. That would be really appreciated. So we've got to just learn to be happy with, you know, with just like, I'm not saying you should just put up with bare minimum, but it's like we have to learn to just appreciate whatever we do have, because, you know, that's the thing. It's like, it's this abundance mindset of like, because we're probably a lot better off than we realize. It's just that we've been so like, you know, influenced by social media, and you know, you see all this stuff on just the media in general, like people living these like baller lifestyles and whatever that are just not really, I mean, I'm not saying it's not attainable, but it's like, do you really want that? It's like, there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it, and is it even worth just constantly chasing more and more money? For what? What is the end goal of that? Because you might be like, oh, I want to do it to make me happy, but then the thing is, it's this whole thing of chasing happiness, but then you got to realize that you can claim it now. You can claim happiness right now if you can just let go of materialism and the need for material wealth to make you happy. That is something that we have to learn to just let go of. Comparing ourselves to others, looking at what others have, and judging our success based on how many things we have, because that is irrelevant. You shouldn't be basing your success based on how many material things you have or what material things you have. If you've got whether you've got the latest iPhone or a new Lamborghini or a new Bugatti, none of that is relevant. Yeah, it might give you a fleeting sense of happiness in that moment, but is it worth all that sacrifice to get to that point? Is it really? Ask yourself that. Hello, Sherber, thank you for the like. Ask yourself, is it really worth all of that? Is it worth selling your soul for? You know, is it worth selling your soul so you can buy another holiday home and a new car? It's like, just ask yourself these questions if you're thinking about, you know, doing whatever it takes to become a multi-millionaire, billionaire even. Because even if you get there, is it worth it? Is the juice worth the squeeze? You know, we have to learn to be able to appreciate everything that we have right now, because you'll never be happy. If you think that getting a new car is going to make you happy, it's not. Yeah, it might in that moment, but in the long run, you're just constantly chasing and chasing. Probably feel miserable most of the time just trying to get those things, and you're also probably going to be anxious of losing those things if, say, something bad happens, because the more you have to lose. You know, if you yeah, it's not good, is it? You know, it's not good whatsoever. We've got to sort of like, yeah. Hello, Reluctant Gamer, how you doing? I hope you're well. So like, I'm just saying, like, you know, whole thing of constantly chasing money just to then not be happy. And yeah, there's studies that say that people that make more are more happy, but I mean, beyond a certain point though, I don't think it really helps. I think they found that something like, once you go past about $500,000 a year, I think I remember, that is the point where you're no longer any more happy with any more money. Like, yeah, happiness can continue up to about that point. I think it was $500,000, which in our money is probably about 400k. Probably about, yeah, just under 400k a year, which is still like a lot of money compared to what the vast majority of people are making. But hello Sadie, how you doing? I hope you're well. Welcome to my live. I'm not too bad, thank you. Just walking to the shops and stuff. So any more than like a few $100,000 per year is not going to make you more happy. There's probably going to be a lot of stress and a lot of worries about, you know, making sure that you're able to compete, because a lot of times they're in markets that where there's a lot of competition, or just that market there's no market for it anymore. Worrying that you know, because what if say you have a certain business and then that market ends up, you know, shrinking and you end up with, you know, a fraction of what you had, because it's like, it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those things, isn't it, where just people just get caught up in like whatever drop shipping or whatever BS, but then, you know, it's like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth selling your soul for these sort of things, you know? Is it like worth wasting all this time just to then not even be any more happy? Because you should really be trying to focus on doing something that gives you more fulfillment. Yeah, you can end up making a lot of money down the line, but you don't need to be making millions every year off it. Because at that point, I think it becomes greed. It's like, take for example the self-improvement YouTuber Hamza. He became so obsessed with money, and it's ruined him, you know. And people just don't, you know, take it seriously anymore. So you have these people that are supposed to be about self-improvement. Turns out that he's not, and he's actually degenerate, and he pretends to be all about self-improvement and pretends to be, and then apparently he eats all the crap as well, like, and it's just, he portrays a certain image of himself, and you know, it's just a lot of it does a lot of manipulation, and it's quite scummy really. But these people will get what's coming to them, and I think that, you know, all those highs, it's still gonna come crashing down. And this is the thing, if you do dodgy things to get to that point, then, you know, you've got a long way to come down. The higher up that you go, people will eventually see you for who you really are. You know, a lot of people started to kind of call these people out and said that they're like grifters and whatever. Their views started to plummet. I think his most recent video's not even got 30,000 views, which is actually a lot of views. You know, would be a lot of views for a lot of people, but considering that he used to get probably about 10 times the amount of viewers that he's getting now, and he's just, you know, the whole thing of yeah, it's just not working for him. And yeah, you just gotta be careful with like your decisions, because your reputation is on the line, you know. So if you lose all that reputation, then people will just back off and won't support you anymore. And yeah, so I don't know what's going on, because he's been live streaming and stuff. I don't watch him, so it's just because like he's just complete degenerate who just he's admitted to it. He doesn't do what he preaches. He doesn't even, it's like he keeps slipping off, and he became so obsessed with money, and he's admitted to it. But it's a lot of the stuff. It's like he probably doesn't even really do a lot of the stuff. Like he says he does meditation, but like how much of that is actually true, and for how long? I mean, it's like, is he really as dedicated as what he makes out to be? There's a lot of these people that they'll preach self-improvement, but then they're just they're actually not that, leveled up, if you will. They put out this certain image of themselves, but I think he's actually deeply insecure. But I think that the most important part of self-improvement is self-acceptance. It's about accepting yourself with the flaws that you have, and trying to work on the things that you can work on, but to not get so insecure about it. Learn to accept that, someone will accept you with the flaws that you have, but then it's like, he was saying stuff like, oh, I'm worried that they won't see me as masculine or whatever. It's like, well, that's their problem. It's like, you gotta, it's just this mindset of like, it's like if you're like such a, almost like kind of celebrity status, and then it's like, but still worried that your girlfriend or whatever is not going to want to be with you, and that they might even cheat on you or whatever. It's like, then that is your problem. That is seriously someone that's got really deep insecurities, because even with that level of success and they still have insecurities, there's something deeply wrong there. So I don't know, maybe he needs some kind of counseling or something. I don't know, because it's like, you think to yourself, how could someone be so successful but yet he can't seem to maintain a relationship, because he gets all kind of like, I don't know, it's like you just wonder, like, what the fuck, like, why is he, I don't know, why just like kind of sabotage things because he's like insecure, and he's got all these problems, and then I don't know, it just feels a bit sort of like it's like it's not worked for him. He's like done all this self-improvement stuff. It's not exactly a good message to be sharing that he's supposedly doing all this self-improvement stuff just to then end up like falling off, and just but then again, like I said, how much of the stuff is he actually doing? Because like I don't know, I just, the whole thing of him flip-flopping his opinions all the time, and then he blamed it on having undiagnosed ADHD. It's like everyone's just diagnosing themselves with problems now, instead of taking accountability. It seems like they'll just blame it on someone else, instead of accepting that, and then he said, oh, well, the reason why I try to seem certain, because I don't want people to think that I'm not an authority or something like that. But it's like, but it's dangerous. But all he cares about is making money, and just, but he'll try and make out that it's because I wanted to be like this, I just wanted to be like someone who can be seem reliable or something. But yeah, it's just funny how he was like saying that his friend is one of these old editor friend guy, that he's not credible or something, but yet Hamza would be like kind of, how is he credible when he's just losing reputation all the time, and he's just losing subs. It's kind of funny how the videos that have been exposing have actually got more views than the videos that he can pull in anymore. It goes to show that there's probably a lot more people that actually have turned against him now than people who actually still support him. And even some of the people on his videos are just there to like bash on him now because he deserves it, you know. He's just lost the plot basically, and he's just maybe he was genuine at some point. This is the thing they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I do think that maybe at some point he was genuine, and then I think he just got caught up in the whole sort of hustle and to make money, and I don't like that, you know. It's just, it just doesn't feel right. Like when, you know, then it's like you're just trying to milk your audience for money, and then without really actually offering that much. And I think the prices are a bit wrong considering how most of the audience were quite young, and they would probably use their parents' credit cards even and stuff like that. Obviously his thing couldn't go on forever, like all these people that would buy into it, and then eventually they would have to come out because the price just isn't right. But I think if you actually cared more about the people who do actually like probably bring the price down somewhat to something more reasonable. But they kept messing around with prices and saying that it was going to even charge fucking $500 a month at some point. I'm like, that is crazy. Just became so like obsessed with money, and just that it all just started to fall apart, you know. That's the thing with these sort of people, they just end up like the money gets to them, and you know, like gets to their head, and the fame gets to their head. They think they're invincible, and then boom, you know, they lose their reputation almost overnight. People start to see through it. Sometimes people underestimate how smart their audience are, and there's going to be people who will expose them and say that they're but it's like he would then, I think, make some videos to try and kind of be like, hey, you know, I made some mistakes and blah blah blah, but then try to use that as some way to against manipulation instead of taking real accountability, just more manipulation, because he's deeply insecure, worried about anyone becoming successful because he's worried that they'll take away from his success. This is the thing when like, you know, when people, a lot of people don't want to see others do well in life. That's sad. You know, even when people have them to do well, they don't want you to do well. There's just a lot of like fucking, you know, quite narcissistic type of people out there that are quite nefarious, and like I said, it might not have always been that way. They were genuinely about the right things. They would be putting out content, interesting content and stuff, but then a lot of it isn't necessarily based on experience, but based on just what they've read in a book. They'll be teaching these things, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that necessarily, but sometimes some of these people aren't as like smart as they portray themselves to be, and that they're actually just someone that will just put out a bunch of like fake science, stuff like that, and it's like the whole science-based lifting thing falling apart. People just don't take it seriously, and it's surprising that, you know, Mike Israetel isn't like subs quite quickly, because a lot of people have been exposed to it, but will continue to watch him just to continue to see him implode and just get worse and worse, because it's like he's not took any accountability really, and neither is Jeff Nippon. They're just a bunch of like, something off with these sort of people. They're all just a bunch of like, it's like a mafia basically. They're all just like, you know, like supporting each other to basically be you know, kind of like, basically like, whenever one of them messes up, they'll be there to defend them, basically, instead of holding each other accountable. So it's just, yeah. So none of them are ever going to really take any accountability then, are they? But they'll continue to just grow their accounts and stuff, and just, it's like there was that whole Athlete X fake weights shit, where he was exposed as obviously having fake weights. And, you know, he was exposed for that, and saying, oh look, you know, Athlete X can, you know, because he wasn't able to lift the amount of weights that he was pretending he could, because he was trying to act like he was stronger than what he was, instead of just being honest and just, but people just kind of moved on from it, and still grow, you know, they still gain new subscribers every so often, and so it's just shit, and it's like, none of these people really truly get, a lot of them don't get properly held accountable, especially in like these fitness accounts, fitness channels that are just peddling a load of BS. But the problem is that a lot of people aren't even aware about all the drama. They'll still, you know, watch him. They don't know half the stuff that's going on. They're not so invested in all that. A lot of them are just normies that watch it. So they'll still keep growing their accounts and still, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, but it's the whole fact that, it's not the fact that his PhD was subpar or anything like that. That it's like, okay, you know, whatever, but it's the fact that he leans so heavy on the fact that he's got a PhD, and when he's got so many errors in it, then it calls into question how, you know, legitimate his authority really is. Why would you trust him when he's had so many errors? And of course people make mistakes, but it's the fact that he didn't like be transparent about that, and it would take someone to expose him to really have to address it, you know. It would make out like it's a rough draft, but then turns out it's not. Because why would someone just accidentally leak a rough draft? It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's like they're just trying to gaslight people and think that people are stupid. But then you had the fucking Milo Wolf peddling all that bullshit, you know. And it's like, you're not going to hear them. I don't think you've heard them like actually apologize and say, I'm sorry, but you know that I was wrong. You know, you're right. It wasn't a rough draft. It was the final draft. The final version of it. So if they would actually show some accountability, then I think people would actually respect them for that, and actually it would show honesty, integrity. But the more that they just like won't show any accountability, then I can't see it. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if they ever will show any accountability, but then at that point it'll only be to just like, you know, it's a damage control basically, because if so many people start to turn on them, then they need to just like apologize, and it's like, but then it'll be like, they're not going to say, yeah, sorry, it was you know, we were right, because it's like they're afraid of, you know, Mike then, you know, basically, because apparently they got funded to like, for their like degree or something. That's the problem when you've got these sort of like ties to that person, and it's like, oh, you know, then it's dangerous, because you're like, they were like basically helping fund you and stuff like that, then, but you have to like not let someone have that kind of control over you, because they're using it to manipulate you into being basically their, yeah, to like kind of PR essentially. So whenever they do something wrong, then they can try and damage control it. But all it does is make it look worse. It's pretty obvious what they're trying to do. More and more shady things happening, and it's just like Dr. Mike's got this huge ego, and it's like saying, I mean, he says he's like smarter than every other like person in fitness, basically. That's his words. You know, and it's like, what is your proof of that, you know? And the thing is that I think he's even said that steroids are rotting his brain, so even if he was smart, he's probably not even that smart anymore. Because the roids literally can rot your brain. I'm not sure the exact mechanism, but I've heard stuff that's one of the effects, and he's even said this himself, that I guess it's just all that like mental stress that it can cause. He said about he felt rage when he did it before, so I'm sure it's had some damage to his intelligence. So even if he was once, you know, that way, then it's like, yeah. And he was never really in that great condition for his shows. I think he's just really like bitter and just like, because he never got that IFBB Pro card or whatever, and but he's trying to like, you know, come across like, you know, he's the science guy, you should listen to him. He trashed on, what was it called, Mike Mensa and his ways of doing things, saying it's outdated. I mean, they're trying to act like they have this so much more knowledge and whatever, and it's like trying to act like this whole like bodybuilding stuff is super complicated, and it's just really quite it's not that complicated, but they start adding extra layers of complexity that don't need to be there. Like, yeah, it's just like Dr. Mike's physique doesn't even look good on stage, but yet he'll criticize actual like IFBB bodybuilders. I don't think people should even be doing that shit, to be honest, but like, you know, but the fact is some people come with way better condition than him, like blame it on the tan, but again, it's more gaslighting. It's just, he won't accept that, you know, he wasn't in a good condition for it, and accept that. It's just, but yeah, I mean, it's mad that he's about 4 years old or something like that, and he's looking like he's in his 50s, if not 60s even at this point. Now, these things can really age you like rapidly. So that's one of the reasons why you should not be taking these things, because you'll see someone, like, let's say they start and they're like 20 years old, and then they get to like 25 years old, they already look like they're in their 30s. They look like they started at 20, they're 25, now they look like they're 35, maybe even 40. It's crazy like how quite quick you can actually age on these things. It actually decreases collagen synthesis, so you can actually like decrease it. Yeah, it's like you can increase your skin's aging, and it's just looks awful. Just makes them look really rough and just like, it's not good. So we have to be very like careful with what we're putting in our body, because a lot of it's just a lot of junk. A lot of these people won't even make it to like old age. They'll die way before they get to that point. I just think it's very irresponsible, but anyway, it's what it is. I'll see you all later. Bye.